Laura here, and I wanted to share with you today a really simple restorative yoga practice that you can do at home. So often in a restorative yoga practice you need so many props like bolsters and blocks and straps and eye masks. This is a really simple practice that all you need is your yoga mat. So you just have your yoga mat and you have it rolled up. You don't have to be sitting on another mat. You can just be on your carpet at home or on your floor. All you need is this one rolled up yoga mat. So you're going to start by sitting perched up on that mat. So just bring yourself to sit on your rolled up yoga mat. Bring the hands to the lap and turn them palm down, allowing your eyes to close. Bringing yourself into stillness, feeling a rooting down through the sitting bones. A gentle length in the spine arising through the crown of the head. In this stillness, bring your awareness to your breath. Inhaling in and down. And exhaling out and up. You inhale thinking, I am calm. Exhale, I am at peace. Inhaling, I am calm. Exhaling, I am at peace. Inhale, I am calm. Exhale, I am at peace. And gently flickering your eyes open. So you're going to come into your first restorative pose. So you're going to take that roll up mat and have it horizontal in front of you. Now I'm going to come and lie over this, but I want the mat ideally level with my belly button, but it could also be lower on your hip creases. But try for the belly button first. So I'm going to come to all fours over that, thinking about where my belly button is. Slide my legs back so I can feel that mat's on my belly and come down onto my elbows like Sphinx pose. So this can feel quite uncomfortable or a little bit tender in the abdomen, in the belly. Please don't worry. See this as simply a digestive massage, a massage for the abdominal organs. But if it is too intense, you'll just tap your toes, shift yourself up so that that mat is more on your hip creases. I'm going to take myself back some on my belly. Now I'm going to intensify this slightly by sliding the elbows out and coming to relax fully down with your head turned to one side. Allow the eyes to close. And suggest even for me, I feel this a little tender in my tummy. And see if I can help that with my breath. So as I inhale, I'm going to press my belly down into the mat. And as I exhale, I'm going to let the belly soften and the mat gently press up into it. Keep going with that breath. So in many of the Eastern cultures, an abdominal massage is seen as important for our health. We have a lot of layers of muscles in this area of the abdomen, and they can get tight. We get a lot of emotional holding here in the belly. So if you think about when you feel excited or nervous or anxious, you feel that right here in the tummy, all that energy stored there. And you have all of the digestive organs that can get a real build up. So this pressure here in the abdomen just helps to work through those differing layers of the body, helping to bring energy, awareness, and healing to this key area of your body. And stay with that breath, letting yourself relax down onto the mat. In addition, it's also really good for your lower back. Helps to broaden and release the lower back, soothing it out at the end of the day. I'm going to stay here for 3 more cycles of breath. time to come out. If you do like it here, feel free to just pause the video and stay here for longer. We're just going to bring the hands up under the shoulders, push the ground away, and come up onto your knees. Coming into child's pose. So bring the feet together, knees wide, and sit the hips back onto the heels. But for this variation, bring your elbows up onto the mat and bring your hands together like you're clapping them. Shift yourself back a little bit. You're trying to keep that bottom low down to the heels. And I'm going to drop my chest down towards the floor. Maybe even resting your head on the mat. Or if you prefer, you could rest your head on the floor. Then I'm going to keep these hands together and shift them back a little bit more so they're behind my head like this. Take your elbows a little wider if you like. Feeling your chest dropping down towards the floor. Staying here as you breathe. You're staying in that pose. What this pose is doing is it's helping to open up your shoulders, your upper back, stretch out your chest. So I want you to focus your breath into that space between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. And stay here with you for a few more breaths. Taking one more breath. And bringing the hands onto that mat, pressing yourself back up. Now slide over onto your right hip and come over the bolster, or mat, sorry. So I want to have this mat level with the bottom of my ribs and top of my hips. It's just sitting in that fleshy area there, so it's not on any bone. I'm going to come in onto my elbow to help me reposition that mat. So again, it's not on any bone, it's sitting in that space between my hips and my ribs. Propping the head up. You can have your legs however you feel most comfortable. Then I'm going to straighten this bottom arm and rest my head down on my arm. Now if that isn't comfortable, your head doesn't reach or your arms awkwardly up, do just grab a pillow for me and pop the head on that pillow. But if you can, resting it down on the arm. Then taking your other arm, so be your left one, inhale, stretch it up to the ceiling. Then you're going to bring it over your head and relax it down. Again, if that's not comfortable, it doesn't work for your shoulders, you could keep the hand by your side. But if it's okay, up and over like this, I'm going to use your bottom hand, so that's your right hand, and clasp your left little finger. So you're gripping onto that left little finger, not too strong, but you are holding it quite firmly. Close the eyes. And bring the awareness to the breath. And focus your breathing into that top left-hand side of the body. Left lung. Left side ribs. Allow yourself to simply sink into the stillness of this pose. So holding the finger here, this little finger, is inspired by the Japanese practice of Jin-Shin-Jitsu, where each of the fingers represents a different way of being. And the little finger is about the energy of overdoing things or over-efforting. Always having to do more, push harder. Something that many of us are programmed towards, but isn't always good for us. So by holding this little finger here, it's about letting go of efforting, letting go of doing too much, being too much. And simply taking some time to rest, to recharge. And stay here for 4 more cycles of breath. letting go of your little finger. Gently bring that left hand back over. Prop yourself up onto your right elbow again. And from here, you're going to roll onto your back. And place your elbows on that rolled up mat. Now what you're looking for is to have your elbows directly under your shoulders. And what will happen with this is that you'll then have the mat level with the base of your shoulder blades, so right in that mid-upper back. And just watch me for a moment as I lie down. So as I lie down, that mat is right at the bottom of my shoulder blades, mid-upper back. I can relax my head to the floor. I'm going to inhale, reach my arms all the way up to the ceiling, then straight over to the rest on the floor behind me. But then I'm not done yet. From there, I'm going to slide my hands down so they're at shoulder height. And what's really important here is that they're the top side, the head side of my mat. So they're not down at the bottom, the top side. If you feel uncomfortable here, most people tend to have to wiggle actually a little bit more to the head end. It's okay to have your knees bent like I have, or you can straighten your legs out. Allowing the eyes to close. Now a little bit like that abdominal massage we started with. This is a massage for your upper back, and it might feel quite tight in the muscles of the back or the chest. If it does feel too tight for you today, just unroll your mat a little bit and try again. See if you could bear with it and work into it with your breath. As I inhale, I'm going to feel my upper back press down into the mat. And as I exhale, I'm softening, melting my back over that arch in the mat. Encouraging the muscles to release, to relax. Noticing where I may be gripping or fighting this opening. And how I can use my breath to encourage the body to let go, to soften, to bring in a sense of ease. If at any point this doesn't feel right for you, feel free to just push yourself back up to seated. As we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Deepening that breath. Bending the knees, place the feet on the floor. So you're going to roll over and do the previous pose on your other side. So rolling over to your left now, propping yourself up on your elbow. And you'll probably find this mat is too high now, so it's on my ribs. Just need to shift myself up the mat a bit so that mat is between my hips and my ribs. And when I feel settled, I'm going to relax the bottom arm. Let my head rest on my arm or my arm plus a pillow. Bring the top arm up and over. And just holding the little finger in the other hand. Making any adjustments you might need to personalize this pose. Allowing the eyes to close. Focusing on the right hand side of the body. Right ribs, lung, muscles through that right side flank. As we rest here together for a few breaths. Find your mind's wandering. Gently guide it home to your breath. being the breath, right side body, right side lungs. And take 3 more breaths. You could choose to stay in any of these poses for longer if you have more time. Bringing that arm back over, propping yourself up on that left hand, and once more rolling back onto your back. Lying down, press the floor away to lift your hips and slide that block just to rest underneath your hips. So it's not in my back, it's on the back wall of my pelvis. You could keep your knees bent here like a little bit of a supported bridge, or you could straighten the legs out. As you can see, it's just going to stretch out through my hip flexors and my psoas. If that's not suitable for you, doesn't feel good today, just lift the hips up again and roll the mat down till it's under your knees. I'm going to keep this up here on my hips, and for me I'm going to keep my knees bent and actually knock them into touch. Allowing the eyes to close, having the right hands resting on your belly or gently on the floor at your side. So this is your restorative shavasana right now. Even in this short practice, it's great to spend a few moments in shavasana. So when you get to assimilate your practice, the slowing down and the rest. You're going to be here for just 10 focused breaths. Inhaling, I'm at peace. Exhaling, I am at ease. Inhale, I'm at peace. Exhale, I'm at ease. Do a few more breaths together. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please feel free to. Otherwise, if you're ready to come out, if you've still got the mat under your hips, bend your knees, place the feet on the floor, gently lift your hips up and roll that mat out. If it's under your knees, that doesn't matter so much. Drawing your knees into your chest. I'm going to come out of this nice and slowly to help keep that central nervous system calm. So if you could bring your left arm up and over and rest it on the floor alongside your head. Roll your body all the way to the left using that arm as a pillow. And let your other hand fall in front of you. When we do come up, see if you could trail your head up last. So pressing the ground away, rolling up, bringing your head up last. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a nice deep inhale. Let it go with a sigh. Thank you for practicing this restorative flow with me today. Namaste.